In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin is down 6.72%, Ethereum is down 10%, BNB a little over 6.5%, Solana over 5.5%, XRP around 6.5%, and Doge about 8.5% down. Yesterday, somebody was asking inside the comments, what does this mean, XRP? This is the distance from the all-time high. And when we come down to XRP, it's $3.35 or 87% below its previous all-time high. And we can see that Bitcoin is nearly $20,000 below its previous all-time high. There's no question, over the past 7 days, we've seen a bloodbath in the crypto market, but it's been a bloodbath right across global markets as well. In this video, we're going to look into the most important question. How far through the bloodbath are we? Are we coming out to the other side? Is it all over? Can we go in with both feet now, or should we wait? To find out, let's run the numbers. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back, CTKS family. And for all the new people joining us, I'm not AI and I'm a real human being. I just have a good voice. Well, sometimes at least. Let's have a look at the past 24 hours. There's been $1.1 billion in liquidations. The majority have been long liquidations. And there's been 272,000 people liquidated. But if you're not AI, why don't you show your face? I'd prefer to show the charts. I was always annoyed when people would put their face across the chart that I need to see. So I'm just doing the favor. A lot of people right now would be saying, oh, fantastic, it's all over. There's not going to be any more long liquidations in the market. But if they come in pairs, just beware. Looking through the liquidation heat map can give you a bit of an idea. We can see that the longs have started entering positions. And where are the shorts? They're not anywhere to be found. Oh no. And what does this mean? To market makers, they will push the price down. So you should be very, very aware of this. What about on a 3-day basis? Okay, at least we got this 61.4K liquidation level on Bitcoin. What about the 1 week? Well, when it decides to come up, we can see about 67,000. So in the short term, there are some longs that could be liquidated quite easily down to the $48,000 level. But longer term, there's a upward price momentum to liquidate the higher level shorts. What is social media telling us? Butcher put out this particular chart just before, and we've seen that it's being used all across the place. Now, is it being used correctly? What does this show us? This shows us that the current price right now, we're just seeing Bitcoin doing this retracement. But here's the COVID sell-off. Oh, look, it looks so imminent. Absolutely, the markets are going to go up. When Butcher put out this quote, he was kidding. But that doesn't mean that other people won't take it seriously. And this particular chart has just been seen by this guy nearly, well, over 800,000 times. But is it correct? Let's look at some more social media sentiment. Here is the COVID sell-off. Oh, look at this trend line. Oh, just a magical trend line. And it went up. Prices go up. Now, what are we looking at here? Oh, another magical trend line. Oh, look at this, a price objective. And 410,000 have seen this. So it must be correct. But is it? I started the masterclass as a former lecturer in statistics to help people to understand and cut through all the noise. Masterclass students, make sure that you just refer to TG35. Always do your own fractals. When we do our own fractal of the COVID sell-off, it looks like this. This is this blue line. That's the fractal for the COVID sell-off, and this is the current fractal. Do the two look the same? One thing, when you're analyzing charts, they should be the same basis. You should always have a log chart on, and you can never stretch the fractals out to suit your own purpose. But this doesn't stop people doing it. A lot of people have been really hurt by the negative price momentum inside financial markets globally. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our healing thoughts and love are with you. And you can look at it very positively, that life pullbacks give you the strength for the next life rally. If you remain dedicated and committed, just thinking about, I either win or learn and never blame. You can take something that was potentially meant for harm and turn it into something good that propels you forwards. It's good to always remember that the sun will come out again as you're going from a resistance in life back to a support in life. You're gaining strength, and your strength should be increasing as you progress forwards in life. The core foundation of strength is knowledge. And more particularly, realistically understanding, the sun will always come out again. You're not alone. And as part of our global family, you're here, we love you. Just hang in there. Things will get better. The important thing, when Butcher put out this particular chart, he was having a joke. He's always having a go at Capo, saying old season is around the corner. Tongue in cheek, he just put this here to show, oh, old season is starting, and he knows it's not. Not yet, anyway. When I was lecturing first and second year statistics, part of the course was to show my students how the media misrepresented particular charts, how they left off axes, just squashed things and did all sorts of things. I'm not saying Crypto Bullet is doing this. What I'm trying to suggest to you is you need to compare apples to apples. The law of mathematical consistency is absolute. When you actually, on a one-day basis, compare this particular COVID sell-off to the current price action, you get the fractal that I've shown you, which is this specific fractal. What it's saying is pretty clear. We've come down more than what we came down during COVID. And also, when we start to get going, if things break to the wrong direction, we could have more negative follow-through. So you would need at least to be prepared for this. This is what traders do. Traders and investors, sophisticated investors, are aware that the price can go down. If the price goes down, that's absolutely the best opportunity to get in because you make life-changing gains on the way back up. And yes, it's going back up, no question. Japan's stock market, the Japanese Nikkei, closed down 12%, which is the largest point drop in history, exceeding Black Monday 1987. Black Monday was not over in 24 hours. Typically, what you see, with a big move down, you just get an organic move up before a continuation down, so please be aware of this. Meanwhile, in the US market, we saw a $2 trillion wipeout across the entire US stock exchanges. And what always happens to popular financial services, the trading platforms, they all go down mysteriously. It's just the way things go. I was actually explaining this on X yesterday. Whenever I traded in the Aussie market, the Aussie exchanges would always go down, so I collected 3 or 4 of them and they all went down together. When the prices go deep red, you can expect your online trading and investing platform to say, don't come here. As Tales from the Man Cave said, crypto fixes this. Those outages that occur inside the stock market don't happen inside crypto. Unfortunately, a lot of people get freaked out when there's negative price action inside markets. And as Genevieve says, the US stock market has recovered from every recession, depression, and crash. And it's gone on to make new highs every single time. This is correct. This is the way the stock markets work. What you have here is a buying opportunity, but you have to be sensible how you do it. Many people would say you simply can't make money in a downward market, but that's not what our clan does. We make money in any market. And really strong congratulations to someone you know. Someone you know did really well. He actually made 4 figures of profit yesterday whilst the market was tanking, and this is because we have X-ray vision. Someone you know said, the Japanese have a truism. The best time to learn to trade was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Take action now, even if the ideal time has passed. In the coming months, the markets will be really choppy. If you know how to take advantage of these markets, you're going to do really well. And it's kind of nice to know that there's a record $6.1 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines just waiting to be deployed into fresh opportunities. There are 4 stages that every single investor and trader progresses through to become consistently profitable. The first 2 zones are the panic and blame zone, where people hope and pray. They literally don't know what they're doing, and they don't know why they keep on suffering losses. After all, they look at social media, everything is good, they put money into the market, they lose it all. The thing to understand, hoping, praying is not a strategy. Only learning is a strategy. When you get out of zone 1 and zone 2, and you'll know it because they're highly emotional zones. When you get into zone 3, it's an emotion-less zone. And zone 4 is also emotionless. That doesn't mean you're robotic. It just means that when you see negative price action or people talking about certainty, you know they're going on the wrong path. You look at probabilities and rules. You slowly get into situations and you slowly get out of them. You don't go all in and you don't go all out. You know where the target is. You know where the structure is inside the market, and you do things differently to other people. Trading and investing is always a game of skill. There's one thing to lose money, and there's another thing to invert those rules to make money. But the most important thing is to keep it, which is inside zone 4. And many people have lost a lot of money. I've seen some videos out there on people who have lost tens of millions of dollars because they weren't tracking the cheat sheet. Global markets have been awaiting the retaliatory action of Iran and Israel. Right now, it's not happened. It's not happened just as yet. But when it does, expect the markets to feel it. And we've also got a lot of news out. If you're not familiar with the Middle East, Iran is here, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Egypt here. Iran has informed its neighboring countries that it's preparing to attack Israel, and Iran has requested advanced air defense systems from Russia. Iran informed the Hungarian foreign minister, who then told Israel that Iran is prepared to attack. Israel's war cabinet is prepared to do a preemptive strike on Iran. The thing to note, when this strike occurs, and it will occur, expect more negative turbulence inside the markets, and especially inside crypto as well. The S&P 500 fell about 3% today, and that's pretty bad for the S&P 500, but nothing in terms of what crypto can do. But from the statistics, we need to be aware that more negativity could follow through. In the past trading session, the VIX had its second highest day in history. One thing that you can do is to invert the VIX and overlay it on your charts, typically when the VIX just spikes up, which means the inverted VIX spikes down. It is accompanied by negative price reactions in both Bitcoin and the S&P 500. Of course, if the S&P 500 is going down, in all probability the Dow, the Russell, is also coming down, as well as the Nasdaq. And here we've seen the VIX put in that historic performance. But we need to do a fractal on this and compare it back to March 2020. The reasoning and logic behind this, we need to understand where these sell-offs can actually start to reverse around. What we've seen is a lot of retail just getting in and buying this perceived support level. And you can see this perceived support, and also through here. You can see those perceived supports have been rebounding price somewhat. But when you look at the downplay and the upplay, it's not a great percentage. We'll get into the VIX fractal in just a second, but the concept is when the VIX spikes up, it is very likely that the stock market and also crypto will spike down. And Peter Schiff is so vocal on X talking about gold and how it's going up and how it just beats everything, but it's coming down as well. It's basically just following Bitcoin. So this is something to just bear in mind. Also, you can see that the relationship between the DXY and Bitcoin has gone to one of a following relationship, not an inverted one. We can see also the yields are starting to move with Bitcoin. We saw the yields go up with Bitcoin in the last bull run. Let's pop across to the fractal. We can see that the VIX spiked up like hell. Whoa! And when we compare the appropriate stage in the C19 sell-off where the VIX went utterly nuts, we can see that the current sell-off is by far magnitudes greater than the C19 sell-off. And you can see this up and down movement in the VIX as it goes higher and higher. We're going to be keeping an eye on this particular fractal and see how the VIX plays out. But just be aware, it's up and down. Not just up, not just down, but up and down on a daily basis. Now, why is this the case? Because when the VIX spikes up, people get absolutely and utterly terrified. They sell everything into the loving arms of the institutions who love to take bargains. When the discount becomes so great, retail just piles in again and just gets whacked on the head financially. You need to try to invert this relationship and become an institution of one. I'm really excited for our global family. There's so many people that have been looking forward to this negative price action, and we go long at spot. Well done, everybody. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for everybody who commented in yesterday's video. And Stamina said, special day, all the training from the masterclass and the videos from the past couple of years fell into place. All the effort is paying off. It erased my fears. It did before, but not on this scale. I feel proud and grateful. And like a pro, you are awesome, Stamina. We have a completely different view on the marketplace to what is basically the retail mindset. TF Theta summed it up really well. Time to go bargain shopping and layering in. Not going all in, always keeping something for the black swan. What bottom? We don't care. We borsog. We buy on red, sell on green. Just like what someone you know has been doing. The key is when you know the structure of the market, and we'll get into that a little bit later, you're way ahead of 95% of other people who don't analyze the charts properly, create just fantasies and stories. They don't treat the red as sale days. They treat the red as times to run from the market. If you're running from the market on a red day, you're running the wrong way. Crypto Turtle has a really good way of handling this volatility at the current time. And Crypto Turtle said he's been waiting for this day for a couple of months, and he's a borsog day trader. I don't want to wake up to a surprise. He still has his 10-5-10 funds in, and the CTKS method indicators tell me that there could be a lot of downside incoming. So you can take advantage of it, and you can sleep really well at night at the same time. We literally have one of the best communities on YouTube. It's very supporting and very kind, and it's also incredibly knowledgeable. And to preserve your capital, please stay away from leverage. There's a lot to be aware of, and all the markets are interconnected and intercorrelated. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, keeping your eyes on Total and Bitcoin to understand the alts is a really good idea. This is a little bit different. Typically, I just look at Bitcoin to help you with your alts. But when you get into massive sell downs, you really want to look at both. They tend to support each other. A lot of people say, I bought the dip, but it keeps on dipping. And this is widely due to a large number of different reasons, especially on different time frames. When we zoom out to Bitcoin in the 1 week time frame, we can see that we really haven't come down that much. We also haven't come down into tap this central area of liquidity. Could we come down to it, or could we just bounce up? It really depends on structure, so that's what we need to look at. Many people, when C19 hit, the markets went parabolic, and then you saw they started to go a little bit bananas. Don't be scared about getting a better deal on whatever you have. Unfortunately, a lot of people want to ride every single wave. And that's good to a degree, but you must be aware that when geopolitical factors enter the markets, things can change. Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay, and El Salvador just bought more Bitcoin today. There is no question that Bitcoin over time is going to the moon, literally. These are phenomenal opportunities to just do really so well and lower your average buy-in cost if you're an investor. Because of the potential volatility inside all markets just globally, I've been updating the indicators to make sure that you can see way below. Typically, we just do representative price action, but representative price action this month could be something else. You could get so many bargains. Let's have a look at total crypto market cap and just pop on the indicator. But before I put on the indicator, you can see the price just stopped at a variety of different areas. If there was an indicator that could tell us where that was actually occurring, that would be very valuable. In fact, it's this indicator. Let's put it on. What we can see with total crypto market cap, it came down to this $1.84 trillion level and hung around there. Then it couldn't reconfirm as structural support, so it dropped down to the lower structural levels. This indicated weakness and a potential opening up of that $1.734 trillion mark. These particular indicator levels are rightwards looking, not leftwards looking. We use them to try to gauge and assess where price could go now. If we don't hold the current level as support, we're coming down to this 1.84 trillion. If we underside retest, we're going down to the 1.734. But if we hold as support this particular level, we're coming up to the 1.92 trillion and beyond. Just keep in mind this $1.84 trillion, you can see that little W there. I'm actually going to zoom in on this. That's a bit better. You can see that more clearly now. Now, total crypto market cap is incredibly important and valuable to look at, especially when you get into scenarios where the markets are quaking with fear. Total and Bitcoin move together under these circumstances. Just notice that W. You can see that particular support, and this is across the entire total crypto market cap, or all of the cryptos. Financial markets are always changing their nature, scope, and intercorrelations. So when we look at Bitcoin, I wanted to show you US liquidity. This indicator is also available through the service. Let's just pop it on. We can see here that US liquidity was dropping. It's starting to be reformulated back into the markets. And this is not surprising. The Fed and the powers that be don't want a market crash in an election year. It would spell absolute disaster for the then ruling party. It's therefore not surprising that we're starting to see a bit of an injection of liquidity into the market. So just bear that in mind. Let's just quickly go back to total crypto market cap. We can see here at that $1.729 trillion level, this is a lot of structural support. It's also very strong. This structural support at 1.84 trillion is also very strong. Keep these levels in mind. This one, and this one. I'm going to show you how to interpret Bitcoin. And of course, your alts, you're going to need to know this. You can remember how total crypto market cap came into structural support here, came into structural support here, and came into structural support here. Bitcoin is being affected unduly by total crypto market cap. This often happens in sell-offs. Let's have a look at the structural levels. Bitcoin is currently 54,742, and it's coming up to areas of structural overhead resistance, but it's quite strong at 56,000. We can see at 51,400, that is really strong. as is the 48,250 mark. Remember, the total crypto market cap actually turned Bitcoin's fortune around here, here, and here. That means you must look at total and Bitcoin before you look at your alts. But Ken, that's so much hassle. I just want to look at my alts. Well, it comes down to the fact, do you want to make money or do you want to lose money? If you want to make money, have a really good process that you can apply to your alts. You can see as Bitcoin came through this 51,400 level, total was coming down to its structural support. You had a double confirmation of a reversal. And as total crypto market cap came down again, look at this higher low that's been printed. That created some positive buying momentum that has just come into the market. When you look at the charts, you can do really well if you just follow what's in front of you. Also, remember that W, that W is just here on total crypto market cap. That was a structural level of support on total, and it rebounded Bitcoin. Now, why did it do this? Just think about it from a retail perspective. When you're at a total support structure and people are going in all over the place, there's a lot more optimism inside the market, and that will filter from the alts back into Bitcoin. Yesterday's video was really helpful. If you want to go back and look at that, that's a really good one. You're going to find when you understand CTKS structure, which is literally the world's most powerful structural smart money buy and sell level detection system. Structure is the cornerstone of profit and losses. If you buy at resistance, you're probably going to get a loss. And if you buy at support, you're probably going to get a profit. But the issue is, we can't get too greedy in times like this. We have to be more sensible. The reason that we pay so much attention to what Bitcoin is doing is because it impacts the alts incredibly. If Bitcoin is coming down, what's going to happen to Solana? It will come down. What about Ethereum? Yep, it will come down as well. What about Binance Coin, BNB? Yes. What about XRP? Will a decrease in Bitcoin result in a decrease of XRP? You bet it will. What about Dogecoin? If Bitcoin is coming down, which is that blue line behind Doge, what is going to happen to Dogecoin? It's going to come down. What about ADA? Yes, sirree, it's going to come down. What about just about anything else? It's going to follow Bitcoin's gravity. Now, you know the total crypto market cap structure was here and also there. You've got a different way of looking at the crypto market. You're not seeking to guess. You know where the structure is. It's completely different. You will find literally that those particular lines called CTKS structure, they determine price waves. And there are TradingView structural indicators on every single one of these charts here, and they're being released literally as we speak. There's over 32 indicators inside the service, and you can get these levels from ctksmethod.org. We've just looked at Bitcoin and total, but remember, Bitcoin is influenced by the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, and also the Dow. We also know that the VIX, when it spikes up, is not good for the markets. The markets quake in terror, and that brings risk-on assets all the way down. Even gold has been impacted. Reading across the charts is a very powerful thing to do. You saw with total crypto market cap and Bitcoin. How those levels are impacting each other is really important. Let's have a look at Solana, which is an absolute favorite of the community. And if there's another chart on this particular board that you would like me to look at tomorrow, please let me know in the comments. When it comes to Solana, just looking at exactly the same chart in exactly the same way, we know that total crypto market cap was hit here and also here. The W was there. When you know the total crypto market cap levels and also the Bitcoin levels, you'll understand where you can get in and out of trades. If you have a lot of underpinning structural support That's a really good place to enter because you can exit at structural resistance levels. And we know that Bitcoin and total crypto market cap are coming up to structural resistance. But what are the levels on Solana? Let's find out. We can see at the $111 mark, there was a really good structural level of support on Solana. And we hit that 111 and total crypto market cap and Bitcoin went up. What happened to Sol? Well, it went with them. That's why we need to understand what is happening with total first, what is happening with Bitcoin second, and then what is happening with your beloved alts third. Remember that Bitcoin is just under structural resistance at the current time. And there's something really cool with the indicators now on TradingView. If there's an update, you'll see a little purple kind of squiggly icon there. You can just hit it and the indicator will update. About time. Well done, TradingView. Please let me know in the comments which one of these released indicators would you like to see in the next video. Just to sum things up, we know the VIX could be spiking upwards and continue onwards. We do get a bit of a retracement in the VIX, which creates a profitable opportunity to cycle your trades in and out. Just be aware that negative bias is inside the markets, especially with what's happening with Iran and Israel at the moment, and the threat of a wider Middle East war. And just bear in mind, just because it goes green on one day, doesn't mean it's the end of a sell-off. So please just be aware and have your three-dimensional thinking at all times. If you know the structural levels, you're going to prosper no matter what is going on inside the market. Please make sure that you look at Bitcoin and total during this time. Those total structural levels are absolute gold, or Bitcoin, depending on what you want to call it. And you know that as far as the alts go, if Bitcoin is coming down, they're coming down as well. If Bitcoin resumes downwards, just keep in mind the total structural levels incoming. They can create incredible buying opportunities, and we go long at spot inside our community. The reason we have buy on red, sell on green is because you can make money in any market, just like someone you know did. Therefore, we don't care about bull markets and we don't care about bear markets. We only care about structure and getting in and cycling our trades. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think we're headed to? Do you think we're going to have upside in the market or downside in the market? And what do you think about the current structure? Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye.